Good morning, everyone. It is Thankful Thursdays. We are here live every day to answer your questions, to help others, and bringing on some great guests to ask questions and to have a conversation to enlighten everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, everyone. Jake Flesner, good to see you. Noah, thank you for joining as well. Keaton, always on here. Nick, good to see you. All right, let's get the questions rocking and rolling. If we could go ahead and pick Eva, Mikey, good to see you as well. Here we go. Anybody want my book, my ebook, audiobook, or I want me to sign a book and send it to you? All you got to do is email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Pinned right here. My text number is also pinned there. See you at the VIP mastermind. You got it, my friends. We will be there and looking forward to that as well. Here to be of service and of help. All right, the questions are rolling in. It's Thankful Thursday. It's time to get thankful. How do you define attention and intention? Well, I define attention as focus. So what am I focusing in on? And intention is what I think, say, do, believe, and my personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions all aggregated into one. That is what I intend. It's entering, existing in a field that allows things to happen, that I, through my efforts, create a beacon or an attraction to that which I allow. So attention is my focus and refocus. Intentions, what I think, say, do, believe, and the unconscious competencies of personality traits, characteristics, obsessions, and addictions, beaconing that which I intend. So attention plus intention equals coincidence, truly a mathematical equation of luck. Attention plus intention equals coincidence, the mathematical equation of luck. Let me see here. Do you have any digital marketing internships? Yes, we will be picking our interns for the fall. We have some interns right now, and always looking for some great digital marketing interns. David@dmeltzer.com. Josh Landau, what is one thing you are thankful for? Oh, I am always thankful for at least 10 people that I can help a day. I'm also thankful for at least 10 people that can help me a day. What book changed your life? Power of Intention by Dyer, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and A Course in Miracles all continue to change my life as I read excerpts from them every single day, almost in a biblical sense. How are you? I'm fine. What's your spirit animal? Monkey. I'm the monkey. All right. What is source to you? Source is the all-knowing, limitless infinity of power, light, love, and lessons that I'm connected through at all times, as my ability to be in the flow of source, to add gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, to appreciate that power, meaning add value to it and give it away to others, create that power as a conduit, as a catalyst, allowing it to come through me, living in a world of more than enough of everyone and everything. How do you really have done? No, don't know what that means. Flow of source. Very good. Keep the questions coming. Hey, Joe, thanks for the question. Good to see you. I'll be visiting you in New York as soon as I can. Lori, I see you there. I see my lady. Do you have lucid dreams? I have downloads and can't remember the actual dreams, but I have downloads when I wake up. When are you? Oh, sorry. Dave, what qualities do you look for in founders of a company that you invest in? Well, the number one thing I look for is the desire that they must be what they can be. Then I look for gratitude, forgiveness, and accountability. But if they don't have the desire that they must be what they can be, then I don't even go on to the gratitude part, the forgiving part, or the accountability part. Lastly, I align the skills, knowledge, and that desire with what they're proposing to do, and seeing as well the synergistic supplementary side of who I know that could be of service or help to them, or how they could be of help to me. It is a proven formula that has worked for me. Do you ever take naps? I love the word ever. Rarely do I take naps, and if I take a nap, it's because I pass out, and I use that as an indicator that I'm not getting enough rest. So I will adjust my unwinding routine since my tomorrow starts today. And I have an unwinding routine at 9 p.m. to make sure I'm putting myself into a better position to recover and to access information subconsciously and unconsciously. So if I'm passing out in the middle of the day, then I'm going ahead and adjusting that routine as well. Johnny Starkins is here. He's an international yoga instructor, mindfulness teacher, of course, a personal development coach, and would love to share his journey, one which is parallel to mine. And he has a transformational program named the same as one of my favorite boring movies on YouTube called The Shift by Wayne Dyer, speaking of which. And everyone goes through a shift, different shifts, but a transformational shift, usually women before men. But welcome, Donnie. Very excited to talk to you.
Hey, it's great to be here, David. Good to connect with you.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the shift, because I think, number one, a lot of people have a transformational shift and aren't aware of it. And then those other people anticipate a shift and aren't aware of it. And then there are people that go through a shift and then become aware of this, unbelievable, I believe, acceleration and vibration is the way I would describe it. But to you, how'd your journey to understand this shift? And, as we're aligned in mindfulness and personal development, what did that look like in your journey?
Well, so my journey began, I grew up here in Phoenix, Arizona, and grew up my whole life playing sports, playing athletics, played college baseball at Arizona State all the way until my senior year. And in my senior year, I had what was my 5th surgery on my left knee. It was a traumatic, massive surgery. It was a cadaver transplant of my meniscus. I was the first person in Arizona to ever have this surgery. But the doctor assured me that if all went well, it would be like having a new knee and I would be back playing in no time. Not really no time, but I mean, there was a chance that I was going to be able to play again. But the day that I woke up from that surgery, I knew baseball was over for me. Just from the massive signs and scars of trauma to the unbearable pain, I knew it was over. And it was from that day and for many years after, my world got turned upside down from a life of an addiction to prescription pills. I did other drugs, but really what had its grip on me were the pain pills. And if I couldn't get pain pills, it'd be like Xanax or Valium. And that went on for many years after, until my life got so bad that I ended up in rehab. And when I got into rehab, I started to get really curious, like, what the hell happened to my life? Going from this baseball player star, like that was my identity, to now a drug addict, like where did it all go wrong? And it was the curiosity. It was also the addiction beating me down so bad that I finally became willing. But that was the beginning of my journey into personal development through therapy and through the 12 steps. And what I uncovered was, yeah, I had some pretty traumatic pain, and it was a big surgery, but I didn't want to feel the emotional pain of the loss of my purpose, of baseball, the love of my life, the only thing I ever knew. One day it was completely gone. So I numbed it every single day for years by popping pills and partying. And so that was the core wound for me of the loss of purpose. And so when I talk about shift, that led me into teaching yoga. I started doing yoga. So my mom got me into yoga. She would always say, you need to go to yoga. And I always say she was doing yoga before yoga was cool. But I would always tell her, like, yoga's for girls and hippies. I'm not doing that crap. Like, that was my fixed mindset. And then I did it once, and I knew I would do it the rest of my life, just from a physical standpoint, because I was favoring my left leg for so many years, so my right hip and my low back. And it just felt so freeing. But little did I know what it would do for the mind and the soul. So I was like, I'm going to go to teacher training. I want to learn all about this. And then I got into teacher training. I'm like, I want to teach this. And so I started teaching yoga, started teaching meditation. That led to personal development, which it's all personal development, but being a personal development coach, which I think with my background in athletics has led me to work with a lot of professional athletes. Some of those athletes have had troubled pasts and now have turned their pasts into their best assets, which I kind of feel like I have also. And that's led me to today. And I co-host a podcast with Darren Waller from the Raiders, who's been public about his own sobriety and his own struggles. And so, Yeah, you know, the shift, that word means so much to me because I think so many people are waiting for the right situation or the right circumstance or the right time to create change. But true transformation and change happens from the inside out. I was blaming the doctor. The doctor screwed me over. Everybody's out to get me. My family doesn't understand. But when I finally stopped being the victim and I just I took ownership, like that is where I actually found my power and realized that true change and true transformation happens from the inside out.
Yeah. Shout out to Amelia Antonetti. I saw you there, my sister. She's a good friend of mine. But it's so interesting. I think the deepest thing that you said was that thought you were taking the pills to, mask the pain of the injury, but it was really your purpose. And one of the lessons that I hear you saying is it's always the thoughts about our purpose that are our purpose. And if the thoughts about our purpose are creating a negative aggregate effect, and drugs and pills, to me are, some of the most dangerous segmented negative things that we can do because, certain things take a long time. And the effects of drugs are like being an entrepreneur. There's no overnight success of being an entrepreneur. It takes a long time to be successful. It takes 90% of the effort to see a result. It takes you got to put in about 90% of an effort to see any result as an entrepreneur. And whatever period of time, sometimes that's quicker than other people, but on average, I say it takes about 17 and a half years to be an overnight success. The same thing happens to me with drugs, alcohols, pills, etc. Is that, I see young kids, and me being one, right? No problem, right? I can do this. No problem. I'm successful. No problem. And then one day, like you said, you wake up and you're 25% of the way to complete destruction. And then it's just an incremental amount of time till that doubles again to 50. Then it becomes 100. Then it becomes 200. And pretty soon you're either dead or completely lost, homeless on the streets or in jail or, stuck in some facility. And I see it all the time. And so that shift when you got to the 25% mark, I think is a critical component because number one, I'd love to tell people, hey, don't do it. Don't get to the 25%. But that would be a miracle. What I prefer is people like you that talk about this shift is, okay, when you become aware that there's a problem, when you're 90% down the road and you're at the 25% mark, you can come back and create a shift that will create abundance and a purposeful thought and, all the great things in the world, or you can double it and end up dead. And what to you was that turning point of when you became aware that, oh my goodness, these things have a hold of me. I don't have control of it. I thought I did. What was it that allowed you to make that shift?
Yeah, there was a lot of poor decisions through the addiction, obviously, affecting a lot of people, putting my family through worry, countless nights of probably sleepless nights for my mom and my dad. And it wasn't really any of the situations or circumstances. It was me waking up every single day. The moment I would wake up, immediate anxiety, immediate fear. And I would wake up, not grab breakfast, take a shower, not even use the restroom, like take pills, right? The minute I woke up searching for those pills, I could take the pills on an empty stomach. If I'm on an empty stomach, they kick in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The pills would kick in and then it would just be like for what a breath does for me today. Like just this, everything was okay for about an hour. And then it would start again. So it was like this vicious cycle. And it was the obsession, right? And then constantly scheming where I could get whatever pills I wanted from the doctors because at this point I'd had 6 surgeries on my left knee. But it was never enough. It didn't matter. I would get a month prescription that would last barely a week. Less than that probably. So it was just this vicious cycle. It's like the saying of sick and tired of being sick and tired, where I finally just had to surrender. So there was a lot of other situations like overdosing once, which you would think maybe that would have been my bottom, but it wasn't. I was in Mexico and my brother and my brother-in-law had to come get me in the middle of the night in Mexico because I had overdosed. And I came back the next day and I wasn't convinced I had a problem because I wasn't ready yet. right?
Yeah.
So it was like it was a bunch of those, but then just the grip of just being tired of this having such a grip on me. The word freedom, I have it right here, like on a white stone. The word it runs so deep to me today, because in the program we talk about we don't wish to shut the door on the past, but we don't regret it either, right? So like I want to remember that because I want to be free. And when I'm going through the motions and kind of doing things half-assed, I just ask myself, my pattern interrupt is, Donnie, how free do you want to be? And it takes me back to my bottom, but not in a way of like shame. It moves me into action. So that was really the bottom for me, where I finally surrendered and was willing to receive help.
Well, I love the fact that you can now take a breath instead of a pill. And I totally agree and align with that. Have learned, I used to wake up, take a big fat dip. I know you as a baseball player.
Oh yeah.
And, I would say that's the hardest addiction I've ever given up. But the aggregate effect, remember, works in negative behavior's favor. When we are doing positive things, we expect the result faster. When we're doing negative things, we never expect a negative result. And that in itself, like you said, you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you should be proud of yourself. And just so proud that you are carrying it forward and teaching other people what you've learned. And hopefully that shared experience will stop people from ever taking a pill and allow them, when they have pain, to breathe through it, to stretch through it, to exercise through it, and work through it, and look inside and give meaning to everything that they see, the meaning that they want to everything you see. Thank you so much, Donnie. People can reach at Donnie_Starkins, DonnieStarkins.com. We posted it up there. We'll have to have you back, my friend. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, brother. Good to connect.
Great to connect. Great to meet you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, Donnie Starkins, a man of my own heart. Look, all kinds of people end up, with those problems. We have our next guest, Amelia. I just want to say hi if you're still there. I just love being around you. You kill me. You're so awesome. And good luck on your party in New York. I got a few people showing up to join you as well. Is Katie here? I know Katie Beecher, medical, emotional, intuitive counselor. That's right up my alley. Her book, Heal Within. There couldn't be a more shared experience. So let me know, Katie, if you are here. Let me take a quick question in the interim. I heard you speak briefly about reasons, impacts, and capabilities. In regards to articulating the value to your boss, for example, can you explain, please? Yeah, so there's Katie. Articulating the value to exceed what you're asking for requires you to have credibility, an emotional attachment, reasons, impacts, and capabilities. And you're welcome to email me. I'll send that to you, those 5 things, in order to articulate value to exceed what you're asking for. David@Meltzer.com. Katie, thank you for waiting. Welcome.
Oh, no problem. Nice to be here.
Oh, well, it's awesome. As an intuitive counselor, I would love for you to give me a little bit of background about your book. Obviously, I'm a big proponent of you can't find outside of you what you can't find inside of you. And we were just talking about giving meaning to everything that you see. But I think intuition, I look up all the in words, by the way, inspiration, intuition, intellectual, all the in words. And, when I coach people, I'll use that as a session and just go through the dictionary. And it's amazing the interference, not to create another in word, that people have between them and the greatest source of light, love, and lessons. And being intuitive is clearing that interference. You wrote this great book, Heal from Within. Give me a little bit of background, and I think you may even have a question for me, which is a blessing.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a medical and spiritual intuitive and a licensed counselor. Been doing this for 30 years. And I
Since you were 5? I'm
sorry?
Since you were 5?
I love you. Thank you very much. I'm 56. I appreciate
wow. it. I'm 3 years younger than you, and I look like this. Oh, my God, I got to do something right.
Great.
You look like my little sister. Are you kidding me? This is embarrassing. My wife's watching this. She's like, see, I told you got to take better care of yourself. Anyway, go ahead.
I'll just stay on for the whole segment. It's fine.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. I work in a really different way. And with just someone's name and age, I create a 4-page report. It's really detailed, their whole entire life, you know, past, present, everything about them, and an intuitive drawing, like a symbolic painting. And I do that without knowing anything, you know, about them, send it before our meeting. And then we talk about everything, mostly root causes of their issues, connecting to intuition, um, you know, enhancing their life, helping with career, whatever they want, relationships. And so my book tells a little bit about my backstory of how I healed from bulimia and depression. And when I was 16, started that. And then teaches them my actual ways of how I work with people during the individual readings, and some of the techniques that I created, and, you know, kind of looking at what are your issues, where do you need to start, what are the root causes, and mind, body, spirit of how to recover and have, you know, healthy life.
Where are you accessing? I know you're going to ask me a question, but I got to ask you this. Where are you accessing the download when you receive, you know, David Meltzer, 53 years old, without even my birthday or, you know, whatever? Where are you receiving the download of that identification, that soul? Where are you receiving the download to depict the intuitive facts that you're giving people?
A combination of things. It's my own guides. I don't know their names. I know about something about them. My own guides, connection with their guides, often with their loved ones who have passed. I don't know how it happens. My reports are really, really accurate. I've been tested by all sorts of people, and I wish I could explain how it happens, but it comes. I see words, pictures, feel things about them, you know, see them. So it's I wish.
What do you charge for that?
It's $550, and it comes with, you know, the hour appointment, and then also they could ask questions about what we talked about after without any extra charge as well. So I do a lot of follow up.
You're charging too little, but all right,
I
ask me a question. You need some business coaching from Dave Meltzer. I'll give you some non-intuitive advice. Anyway, you're much more worthy than that. Quick question, real quick. You have one for me?
Yeah, no, I'm wondering if you have ever had a medical intuitive reading.
So I've been trained in theta meditation and quantum healing. So I've done a series of work myself in India. It had multiple readings, but I would love either my wife or I to get one from you, especially because you're charging too little. It makes it even more affordable. And yes, it is incredible. The accuracy, and that's why I asked where the downloads were coming. I trace calligraphies in order to access different downloads. Trained under Master and Dr. Shah, who is a Qigong healer as well as a mind body soul transmission expert, an extraordinary intuitive as well. So, you know, I sit on the Transformational Leadership Council. There's tons of different people, but always open, knowing that many people access different informations in different ways. And, you know, I believe in karmic downloads. I believe in multiple millions of lifetimes. And if people ask me why, I tell them very simply that you have a choice. You can believe that this lifetime is it, or you can believe in infinity. And for me, that seems like a more positive decision. I can't prove it to anyone. I don't try to prove it to anyone. All I know is the only fact I know to be true is that it's much more positive to think there's multiple lifetimes than just one. And I live this life as, you know, for me, I live my life as tomorrow's my last day, but I learned as if I'm going to live multiple lifetimes. And that's kind of the approach. I'm not afraid to die. I'm not ready for it.
Right.
But I appreciate what you do. Where can people reach out to you? Before I get her to raise her prices, everybody, you have to reach out to Katie. She's not charging enough. It's at Katie Beecher. Where else can they reach out to you?
My website, it's Katie Beecher, KatieBeecher.com. Really easy.
All right. Well, here comes the influx of calls, but then we'll talk about raising the prices. I'm an extraordinary business coach. I can't tell you how many people like you just don't charge enough. You got to learn to articulate the value to exceed what you're asking for. This woman can change your life. How much is that worth? Thank you, Katie. I appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much. I'll take you up on that.
You got it. Stay young. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a beautiful soul. I really enjoyed that. I know I'm a woo-woo freak, but it works for me. Remember, for me, the key to what we do is one, is it risky to anybody? No. Does it work for you? Yes. Then do it. Is it risky to anyone, including yourself? If the answer is no, and it works for you, like wearing bracelets or downloading from calligraphies or going to intuitives, all those things, people can think I'm absolutely insane. And Amelia is in the house. Where'd she go? There she is. All right. Dun, dun, dun. This is my dear friend. I love not knowing who's coming on because it's hello.
Hello, how are you?
I was like, I have no clue who's coming on, and I look down. I'm like, oh shit, Amelia's coming on. This is awesome.
I am
All
so
right.
excited to be here. That's all I was talking about all week. I'm like, I get to be with David. I get to be with David. I can't get with I'm so excited.
I can't believe I haven't seen you. Like, I talk to you every week, especially on Clubhouse. I'm blessed to follow the leader, and like, I just love seeing your face. I can't believe how long it's been. So
I
let me
know.
give you a proper introduction. Amelia's my little sister. She's amazing, CEO and founder of the Genius Institute. I have been in her journey for longer than I can remember, and through multiple friends and businesses. I am so proud of who she is and what she does, because she is one of my thousand I consider that empowers others to empower others simply to be happy. She's a true entrepreneur, an original, an OG when it wasn't cool for women to be entrepreneurs. I think you were like 19, leading the way as an entrepreneur. So I want to promote Genius Key. I want to talk about the science-based tools that you have with the spiritual side of it as well. But the floor is yours. Give me some background. You are a rock star, everyone's saying, as I agree. Give us a little background on Genius Key to start.
So, first of all, I just have to say a big thank you, because I continually, not just once, consecutively, continually learn from you. And so I begged Glenn for me to be able to, because again, the East-West side, right, to be able to come in from, and then I listen in as I toss the baton to you every week. But every week I learn something new, and there's just so many knowledge nuggets that I always give you credit for, to say, listen, this was a pivotal moment in my life. This was a pivotal moment of life. I think that people forget that we're always becoming a better version in order for us to be able to scale our businesses, grow our teams. This journey is a long one, right? And so if you flatline, I always say it's a slow death. Nobody just told you you're dying, right? And so I was semi-retired. I really was just like, listen, I'm done building companies. I came out of retirement to answer the call of the gig economy, right? And so being a behaviorist, right? That's how I've always say, why is my success a little different than everybody else's? Why did I build schools in my companies before it was popular? What was this journey like, being in, a female in the 80s running $100 million company? I remind people that in that time, there wasn't Oprah, there wasn't Martha Stewart, there wasn't Sheryl Sandberg. There was me, Whoopi Goldberg, and Barbara Walters, right? And I was like, I'm not funny, and I don't want to interview people. So where do I look? And it was really my forum groups, men like you, who surrounded me and helped me groom into who I knew I was, but I needed to become it. And so you've been there when I was falling down, going in the wrong direction, like trying to figure out why I couldn't put a square peg in a round hole, and constantly teaching me the things that I hated you for. I was like, don't say that. Don't say that. I worked so hard. And you're like, that doesn't matter. It's internal. And you got to remember, I've had now 53,000 employees. So it's not like I'm a newbie, but I'm a new person every day, because if I don't lean into what my team needs today, there won't be a tomorrow. And so I tell people out of the bat, this is not for everybody. It really is not for everybody, right? Go take a job, because you'll definitely have a lot of less headache than this journey. But I was so compelled about what is happening in the world today that I said, well, wait a minute. God's talking. My last chapter has not been written yet. And I am leaning in a big way, really, really reaching out to people like I've known for 20 years to say, I am going to do the biggest work of my life right now. Watch me work, because I've learned so much over the last 35 years. Yeah, 35 years in this game. And so when people say it's an overnight success, I laugh. I'm like, it's the longest overnight I've ever seen.
Yeah, I know that feeling. But genius key in being a genius to me is an interesting thing. Because I always say, people say, you're a genius. I said, oh, so I'm expressing God to you. Because I think genius is the expression of God, allowing, things to come through you, not for you or to you. And that genius key that you've now created a system around how people can express God. And, whether they define God like I do doesn't matter, right? You could be Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, Joseph Smith, whatever you want. But it's your higher self. And how we express that is genius. You created science-based tools for this, though. And I know you've been through it, right? Now, I always say, people like you and I, if, with all that we have right now, if someone would have told us, you're going to have to do this, 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 and this, and this, meaning chart us through our quirky lives. We would, as much as I'm the most persistent, consistent person I know, I'm not sure I would have signed up for what I've actually gone through.
No. So, you and I have been on the same page with us, especially with our core values and how much we pour into our team. The structure for business is antiquated. It's old. It doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It's never worked. The pain that gets trapped within companies, teams, communities, families is monstrous, right? And we came to this kind of self-implosion of, okay, how are we going to lean in better? Because any of the tools that exist don't work. We already know they don't work, right? They've got biases all over the place. Opportunity, you can't seek it. You got to be in the right circles. Like Glenn says, you got to be at the right table. It's near impossible. And so I was like, wait a minute. If every individual is born with an internal compass of why they are here, and all the tools and the mindset that you talk about to really get into that quiet space to go, what am I supposed to show up in? What is that internal work? Without the infrastructure for businesses to redesign themselves to answer where humans are today, right? COVID, if one thing we've learned from COVID is to question how we show up. And is there something we could be doing better? So the entire Genius Key platform does something that has been needed in business. So let's just to recap for people in business, there has been 4 pivotal things that business have struggled with for more than 30 years. Attracting great talent, right? Problem is always on the top 3. Grooming and developing that talent, right? Biggest complaint from employees and workforce is that, I'm here and my employer doesn't get me, doesn't see me, doesn't value me, definitely doesn't develop me. The third one is to retain them for longevity as their lifestyles change and the business change. And the last one is to reward them in a language that has meaning to them, not to me, to them. Struggled and struggled and struggled because the old tools don't work. And so I was like, well, what if there was a platform that you would slide into? We call it the Genius platform. It would say, good morning, Dave. There is 27 projects that match your genius. This one has a team of 4. This one is a team of 27. This one is a team of 18. This one is going to pay you $2,000, $10,000, $25,000. This one needs to be done in 2 days, 10 days, 26 days. And then you go, well, why are you bothering me with this project? And it says, okay, this project needs your genius of connection, or your genius of insight, or your genius for leadership. The project says why it's calling upon you. When you go, I really love this 10-day project. I love who's involved in this. And you click yes, you accept the project. It is the first time I know you're a white male. Until then, I know nothing about you, because the actual work of a company has no biases. People show up with their biases. We don't mean to, it's unintentional. But if you look at the way that work has been delineated for years, when you give a project to anybody on your team, you're guessing. You have no data that says that Jake is the right person for this job, that Jake is the internal compass for him, and the work he's put here to do is in alignment. And so often what happens when we went in now for years and we interview a CEO, they say, I can't attract people like me. I can't find them. My people just don't care. We talk to the employees and the employees go, my boss doesn't see me. He doesn't recognize me. People are in the wrong job, the wrong task. And the 20 years of work to then get to that doesn't work anymore. Young people under the age of 30 could care less about buying a house, owning a car. They want their lifestyle. They want their health. They want to experience the world. So the platform answers the gig economy. You can slide right in, take as many projects as you want. You can make as much money as you want to make, all 100% contingent on you. And what happens is the system learns. So they're like, you just finished this project, Dave. From 1 to 5 in these areas, rate how much you liked it. And you go, bah, 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 bah. And then he goes, great. If you like that, here's another 100 that match this identically. And so now you empower the employee to work wherever they want to work from, work on projects and tasks to whatever their ability is. They can disappear and travel around the world for 3 months, come back in and just slide on the platform. So a CEO no longer is talking about a raise. They're no longer talking about, I hope you can do this project. And not only are the teams learning, the employees learning, the company learning, it gives you the probability on how well I am going to feel rewarded when you give me this project. And it removes titles, all that nonsense, because you've got great employees that are stuck in sales and they're really the best bill collectors in the world, right? And so the Genius system is about strain and recovery. How much strain am I putting on my employee by asking to do something, and how long does it take them to recover? So we're measuring something very, very different inside the Genius Institute by taking a look at energy, which you talk about. You're a master at energy, right? If you ask me to do a project and I'm going to try really, really, really hard, and then I'm going to fail because I don't meet your expectations because I'm really not good at that work, you can't go in 2 directions at the same time. Who's at fault? You for giving it to me or me for trying? And so it changes the game. So as we slide in for the gig economy, we're making as many enemies as we are fans, because so many entrepreneurs know they want to serve their people. The heart of an entrepreneur, we want to give and give and give and develop and grow. We just have antiquated tools. So this is the huge game chamber. I'm so excited. Our app comes out of the store next week, and I am just so excited to talk about people that behavior matters, how you think matters, your ability to recover from something matters. It's all part of the bounce factor. And so we're bringing in new tools. I know what's going to happen is the younger generation is going to take this and move the needle so much farther than I ever can. And I say, if you can use me to lift the society and we rise together. And so I'm so excited. And I have to give you so much credit, because what I've learned about leadership, what I've learned about what I have to do in order to lean in to be the best Amelia of who I'm becoming, not today, where's coming next, to prepare me for what comes next. I've learned so much from you. So much from you.
I appreciate that. I learned so much from you. It's amazing. One thing that comes to mind, 2 things actually. One, whenever you have something that you feel people are going to hate and love, you're on the right track. I've learned that just on my own brand, because one of the evolutions and lessons that I've learned is, I'm a pleaser. So, I was afraid. I was, always wanted everyone to like me. And, it was really hard when I built my brand to see people not like me. And then I realized this is a really good thing, because it means that I'm showing my frequency. And if you show your frequency, that means that some people are going to like spinach and some people are not going to like spinach. But spinach has a strong signal. It has a strong frequency.
Yep.
And water does not. And it's very easy to like water. And so I try to lend and tend to be spinach more than water anymore. And I think the Genius Key does that. The other thing that came to mind, and we're breaking the walls of, societal expectations. And here, in context of what you're doing, is so interesting. Having my daughters getting older, I use you and other women as milestones, right? I have them listen to you and watch you and say, look, I've known Amelia for years. You can do better than Amelia. Yes. I know you can. You have more opportunity. Not that you need to be smarter, harder work, but you can do better than her because you have more opportunity than she has. One of the things that I've noticed difference between men and women from having thousands of employees with me is that if I put skills or experience into a duty, right? You need 5 years legal experience to do this. A male will lie his ass off. He'll ignore it. He's like, I can do that. I don't care if they're just stupid. I don't need 3 years experience of that, right? And almost to a T, every woman, including my daughters, right? I provide opportunities. One of my daughters got a beautiful job in Manhattan, but it was so many jobs she didn't apply for because she's like, well, Dad, they want me to have this much experience. And in my mind, I'm like, who cares what they say? Can you do the job? And I think Genius Key allows people to be empowered to say, look, I have the skills, the knowledge, and desire. I may not have the experience, but the world's moving so fast. Who cares? I'm going to go ahead and prove myself by my performance. The same as I tell people to articulate the value that you give to exceed what you're asking for. And you have, as usual, come up with a genius thing. When's the app coming out? Where can they find it?
Well, so we have a launch party, and the app comes out of the store on the 29th. And you were so nice to do a video for
all my friends are coming to your launch party, and I'm going to do my best to take the red eye in and surprise everyone.
Oh my God, that would be. Everybody will bust into tears, right? Because you have impacted so many people's lives, right? I mean, it's just quickly, right? I started. This was literally, say, maybe 2 months ago, right? You talked so eloquently about starting your day the night before, and when I heard that, I was like, Dave, that's ridiculous. Like that makes no difference. Like, I was poo-pooing you all the way. I'm like, no. But I'm like, okay, everything else that I've implemented, you've always been right? So I'm like, okay, let me swallow my ego here. Let me just try it. Oh my goodness. I am a person who has struggled. Now, when I mean struggled, I mean legit struggled to take care of myself. I will take care of everybody else. I struggle to get myself on my list. That means my workouts, eating, all of that. I've struggled for years. So I now change, because of you, my night before, which forces me to pay attention to myself. And it's quiet during that time that I don't feel guilty to have to take care of somebody else. So it opened up this space for me, Dave, that I could really just say, what do I need? Wait a minute, I actually need to go to bed. I actually need to prepare. I need to read. It gave me such permission to take care of self, because after 9 p.m., it's quieter. And I never have been able to do it in the morning. And I'm somebody who's up at 4 a.m. and I still couldn't get ahead of the ball. And that one change, I'm telling you, that one change, I'm 10 pounds lighter on my 30 pounds more to go. I am clear in thought. I'm a kinder individual. I feel for myself that I'm not bitter, angry, and resentful, because everything else comes first, right? I yell and scream all the time. I'm like, you got to listen to Dave, because even when you say something, we all kind of go, what?
Yeah.
But it works.
I always say, Dave Meltzer, you can laugh at me, scoff at me, make fun of me, poo-poo me, but eventually you'll applaud me, because I have paid the dummy tax for you. If you don't want me to pay the dummy tax, that's fine. You can pay it yourself. But you might as well have someone pay for you.
I just want to say I am so much happier because of that.
Oh, I adore you, and that made my day, because my mission, as you know, is to make people happy, and I appreciate you. Hopefully I'll be able to surprise you. Congratulations. July 29th. I don't know what month I'm in. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. You got the 5 a.m. Pacific time edition of the Breakfast of Champions. You got to join Amelia on Clubhouse, and then hang out with me the next hour. You got Marshall Falk and I tomorrow, 6 a.m. So
awesome.
we'll
Thank you, sir.
Party.
Thank you.
Congrats. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Bye. You're awesome. Bye-bye. The incredible Amelia Antonetti, my friend. She doesn't age. I don't know what she's talking about being overweight either. She looks amazing, and I'm so proud of her. All right. Anyway, it is Thankful Thursdays, and I'm so thankful for all the incredible guests that we have today. I saw Mr. Dyer here as well. Thank you for joining me. Lori, Christina, Madrigal, Coach Walker in the house. We're going to chat tomorrow. It's always a pleasure to see you as well, Mr. Khan. Jakey Bakey, you were in the house used as an example. Amelia's a big fan of yours as well. You have been a key hire, and I appreciate Jakey Bakey. You got to join us on Clubhouse tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific time. And if you want my unwinding routine, just email me, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want my unwinding routine, my tomorrow starts today. Mario, good to see you as well. My tomorrow starts today. And so I have an unwinding routine to put myself in the better position for tomorrow to plateau and grow. Of course, my book, ebook, audiobook, I'll sign a book, send it to you, pay for shipping. No problem. I pin it right below, david@dmeltzer.com. Reach out to me. I'm here to be of service. david@dmeltzer.com. I also have my text number right here. You can see it. Go ahead and use it. Text me. I would love to have you. Most importantly, everyone, I will see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. But in the meantime, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. I'll see you tomorrow.